Hey guys, welcome back to Ultra Squad. Today we're here with actually part 2 of What If Naruto Was a Dark Mage. I hope you guys actually enjoyed this. We'll actually start a story at actually Shion's palace. There we'll see Naruto and Shion and Shion's mother there actually having a conversation while drinking tea. So, you know about mage, right? Naruto will say, "Yes, child, I'm also one of that sort. I am a mage. I'm not a powerful one. I'm a priestess mage, and that will actually put divine protection on them." "Oh, a priestess mage. I heard about them. Tell me, child, what's your name?" "My name is Naruto Uzumaki." "And when did you start learning magic, Naruto Uzumaki?" "I started learning magic ever since I was 6 years old. And to be honest, I was actually kept that actually part of me a secret. In my old village, everybody actually hated me, including my parents. As pretty much I always asked them to train me, but they always say that they were going to train my siblings. And people hated me for what I actually have inside of me. I tell beast. Every time I walk down on the street, people will actually throw garbage or rubbish at me, and my parents didn't even care one bit about me, and only focus on actually my siblings. So I just closed myself off from that village, and I started learning magic by myself, not telling anyone about it. And that's the truth. And then after I decided to actually leave that village and actually travel around the world, and that's it. Shion, listening to Naruto's story, couldn't actually help but actually feel sad. He had it rough than even her, who actually basically can actually see people's death and things like that, and the future. His one was actually the worst one yet. She felt bad. "I'm truly sorry, Naruto. To be honest, the life of actually Jubi is like a tail beast is really not that hard. I am truly actually sorry." Yeah, thanks. Wait, you're not afraid of me?" Naruto would say. "Of course not. Why would I be afraid of you?" "Well, everyone is, because I have the tail beast inside of me." "Well, that may be true in some actually places, but actually not here. Should be told, back before chakra was really a thing, we actually mage and actually witches actually envy the tail beast. To be honest, we actually grew actually quite a bond between them. They actually helped us out and we helped them out. And heck, we used back then we used the H's spell to give these tail beasts actually human form to blend into the world." Naruto looked in shock. "Wait, really? Krami, this true?" As Krami will actually make herself known, as pretty much manifests herself in a flesh and human body form into appearance of a young woman with long red hair and red eyes, and she was wearing red and black yukata. There she was actually just sitting beside Naruto while she put Naruto on her lap. "Yes, child, it's actually true. People who actually knows magery or knows magecraft really do envy us tail beasts, but they never treated us as hatred or so on." As she would say, she would be waving her 9 tails in the air while actually stroking Naruto. Shion and also Shion's mother would actually look at the beauty sight that was actually in front of them. They would be seeing a woman with long red hair, red eyes, and also 9 tails. Shion's mother knew who she was, and she was the 9 tails. And immediately she paid her respect by actually bowing down her head. "It's an honor to meet you, Nine Tails." As Reda Krami would look up, "You don't need to bow down to me, actually, child, human. To be honest, the fact that you actually show actually my actually cute Naruto here kindness, I can actually allow you. I do not hold any hatred or anything sort over you. Please raise your head," Krami would say. With this, Shion would actually, mother would raise her head, as Shion would be looking at the side, but she would quite get jealous. To be honest, she would look at this woman, and she would look at Naruto, and to be honest, she wanted to do the same to Naruto too. As they actually spend the next few actually hours talking until eventually, Naruto thought it was actually time for him to go. Shion's mother actually told him if he has to have a place to stay, while Naruto said no, but he will figure something out with magecraft. Shion actually offered Naruto to actually stay here in actually her palace while actually he finds that he stay place to stay, or if he really wants, he can actually stay here. Naruto actually thinks about this, and he will actually kind of agree. He will actually thank them for actually the kindness, but Shion's mother would say that was actually no problem at all. And there actually started there Naruto living with actually Shion and actually her mother and the people in there. As Naruto, for the rest of actually the few actually months here, was actually kind of great. Naruto actually got to know a lot about Shion's mother and also Shion. Also to know right there about Shion's past and how she's able to see through the future, but people actually thought of her as a monster, but Naruto thought of it as a blessing from actually the gods. Shion actually did develop more feelings towards Naruto, and eventually she actually did develop a crush on him. And everywhere that Naruto goes, she will also follow. There was not even really a time that she would leave Naruto's sight, and Naruto didn't even mind her following her around. Well, following him around, so whatever, yeah. He actually quite enjoyed Shion's company, and the two of them really did get to bond. Eventually, Naruto would actually learn up some actually magic from Shion's mother, and she will actually teach Naruto about actually holy protection, actually magecraft, the spells, and they were actually quite useful. Naruto was actually able to actually create right there himself, kind of like a cloak, a black cloak with actually like red designs on it, like the one you see in the thumbnails there, guys. He was able to make something similar like that. As pretty much it had protection, protection for him from any kind of attack. And to be honest, this kind of protection would be actually classified as actually an S rank actually rare item. It was super rare that would protect him over everything. Shion was not really capable with actually creating something like that, like advanced like her mother, but she was really a prodigy when it comes to actually magic work. She was able to actually pretty much actually create life, like plants and things like that, and it was actually really useful. Eventually, one year will actually pass, and Naruto will actually kind of set out, and this would actually put her sad in Shion, and she wanted to follow Naruto, but Naruto said that she couldn't come, because where he's going to actually to the Forbidden Lands. As the rumor said it, that there was actually a man who actually knows magecraft that actually resides there, and he wants to actually learn actually magecraft from him. Shion's mother will actually tell him to actually come back soon, that he's always welcome in actually her place. Shion was actually quite sad that Naruto was leaving, and she actually begged him to actually kind of like stay here a little longer, but Naruto couldn't. He will actually plant a kiss on actually Shion's actually forehead, making her blush. And Naruto actually swore that he will actually come back actually to see her, and also to write lots of letters to her. With this, Naruto will actually leave, coating himself in just like a molluskin aura, and with a burst of speed, Naruto will actually vanish. Shion will be actually looking towards the direction Naruto went off to, and she couldn't help but actually let down a tear while also smiling. As we'll cut back to the Hidden Leaf Village. It's actually been about a year since actually the whole mysterious fire actually happened, and half of actually Konoha has been actually lit up in flames, but they actually managed to actually put out the flames. It took about actually a week for them to actually put out the fire, as they were actually quite wondering who was the one who caused the fire. Like, these blue flames don't appear out of nowhere. So Minato actually asked to find the person who was actually related to the attack. But no matter how hard they searched, they couldn't find any trace. It was like the fire just appeared out of no one, like just out of nowhere. Some people actually suspected the Uchihas to do it, but the Uchihas declined, saying that they don't have that kind of level of firepower, and if so, they wouldn't actually tell anyone or even let up the village. Minato actually did agree with the Uchihas right there, because he didn't actually believe it was actually them. And plus, yeah, the Uchihas are not driven out of the village. They stayed inside the village, because like Minato knows that none of the Uchihas actually did actually do it, or was the one who actually tried to actually extract the Nine Tails from actually Kushina. It's definitely got to be an Uchiha from outside. So this actually kind of leaves the question of what happened right there after the fire. Well, after the fire actually happened, pretty much they actually went back to rebuilding. And it actually took quite a while for them to rebuild, but they eventually was actually able to actually rebuild it, even better than ever. As pretty much they continue on with their daily life, but something happened off in the Uzumaki actually household. As actually we go on to Mito, as she was pretty much walking, the events since the fire has really been driving her crazy and all of this, as she just went to a room to lie down. Before she went into a room, one Uzumaki actually person, member, yes, like I said in the last part, the Uzumakis are alive and they do reside in actually the Hidden Leaf Village. Remember, like, there's actually like a few of them, like really a few, like probably about like 100 of them in the village, and that's pretty much good. So yeah, so she was actually stopped by one actually Uzumaki person while actually asking Mito if she's been actually doing good and been keeping up with her sealing training. Mito would actually bow down, showing respect and saying that yes, she's been keeping good actually trading. As pretty much like the Uzumaki person would smile, and while saying that is actually good for actually the new prodigy child, the child of prodigy should actually know actually sealing jutsus. With this, the person would leave and leaving Shion, and Mito to go to a room. Once she actually got to a room while closing the door, she immediately fall and collapse on the bed. There, she will actually pretty much be groaning as she will actually look up to see on her bedside table, and it was actually pretty much of a picture of actually her, Memma, her mother, her father, Kushina, and actually Minato, and also Jiraiya and Tsunade. She was smiling at the picture, but she will also frown, seeing that her brother is not there in that picture. But she will actually go out, put the picture down, and go to her drawer to see if a picture between actually her and Naruto. It was a picture of actually Naruto having a flower crown around his actually, well, Naruto put a flower crown around Bito's head while Naruto had a flower bracelet. She would smile at the picture while she would actually just lie on her bed while smiling. "I'll do anything to protect you at your brother, no matter what," she would say. As pretty much a week has actually passed, and Mito has not actually seen a sign of actually Naruto anywhere, and this quite actually worried her. So she actually asked her actually mother and the people around the actually the Uzumaki compound. They asked about where's actually her actually brother Naruto. Well, they said that Naruto is actually not important, that she should focus on training. But as time went on, she grew actually infuriated. She asked where her brother really was, and right there the people actually kind of didn't know what Naruto really was. As this actually got to the news to Kushina and this Minato, they actually didn't know where Naruto really was, and this quite actually worried them. Yeah, sure, they didn't really spend enough time with him, of course, and heck, even though they didn't treat him like with kindness, they still kind of care for him like a little bit, even though they didn't even show it. So Minato will actually check around and order actually some actually army to look for Naruto, any trace of him, but to no avail. They checked the room where it was actually pretty much empty. He checked everywhere, no signs of him, not even a trace of him. It was like he was up and gone. Mito actually thought the worst that probably Naruto died during that fire attack. I mean, they were dead bodies all over the place, like pretty much about a few, but she was actually kind of denying this. So Minato actually was quite actually sent actually a search party to search for Naruto around the village. If they couldn't find him, then yeah, they couldn't. He probably might have actually ran off, or probably might have died. This really actually made Mito sad. While Memma wasn't even bothered. He was saying that good riddance of this demon, that pretty much he didn't belong in this family because he was an abomination. Nobody actually thought of him as anything special. So heck, he didn't really care for Naruto if he was dead or alive. Mito really hated Memma for that, and she actually kind of distanced herself away from him. And the people who was friends with Memma, there was actually Sasuke, Sakura, Hinata, Ino, and a few others, of course, like Choji, Sai, and things like that. But those people like Choji and like Shikamaru, they were actually kind of alright. They actually felt bad for Mito, that her brother is actually gone, but they didn't really know Naruto, so they didn't really feel that bad. But they tried to actually comfort Mito, of course. Well, Sakura was actually saying that heck, she didn't really care for that actually Naruto, that he was useless. Well, some people did the same. As this was really happened over the year, as they couldn't even find a trace of him, as they actually considered Naruto to be dead, which Mito hardly actually disapproved of this, of course. As she grew distant. She didn't actually listen to her parents. She started disobeying them. She started actually just going off on her own, training by herself while they actually tried to help her, but she didn't actually listen to them. She blamed them for them neglecting Naruto and not making enough time for them. But they tried to explain that they were only doing it for them to get stronger, of course, because they're the child of prophecies. But Mito actually just called that bullshit, because right there, the child of prodigy, not prodigy, oh jeez, what am I saying? The child of prophet, the child of actually hope. I'm gonna say that, because I'll actually, because accidentally I actually said prostitute and actually prodigy. So my actually bad, guys. The child of prodigy would not actually leave actually family members to actually suffer like that. So pretty much, she didn't actually take any training from actually Jiraiya or even Tsunade. She started training on her own. So that's really what happened during the 1 year. As we will go on to Naruto now. Naruto finally entered the Forbidden Land, and there it was actually just covered in fogs and actually pretty much mist. And pretty much weird creatures would be flying around, and nobody, no ninja, no nation will actually try to actually come into this place, because it was known that everybody who actually came inside of it, they never came out. That pretty much there was weird things going on in that forest, that even some Kages would never even go in there. It was known as pretty much for their death itself. As Naruto can actually understand why they would actually be afraid. They don't actually know magic, so they don't actually know about the magic booby traps and things like that, which Naruto kind of easily avoided. Well, some he barely even actually avoided them. Eventually, Naruto will actually find right there a rundown temple, and he will actually walk into it. There, Naruto will walk into the temple while he actually made it to the very, the entrance inside of it. There he will see ruined writing all over the walls. There, there was also somebody there. Somebody that was actually floating in the middle of the temple. He had swirling electricity around of him, while pretty much he had a blue aura while he was wearing a green outfit while wearing a straw hat. And he had a white beard. And he also had about 2 swords behind his back. I see right there that you actually come. To be honest, nobody should actually enter this place since it's sacred. I'm actually surprised a child like you, who actually is not afraid of death, to enter this place. I can give you actually courage, that you have actually balls to even show up. I can admit that. But this shall be your end. The guy was saying he will actually peer right in front of Naruto while his sword will be at Naruto's throat. Naruto didn't actually show a hint of fear, but inside he was shaking. He felt the mana radiating off him, and it was so much that pretty much he almost crapped himself. And Naruto put on a brave face, and he says I'm not come here to fight. I am a mage myself, or Naruto showing proof about his, while showing his black grim war. The person will look, and he will show a shocked expression. The black grim war, the black mage. So it's true, it's not a legend itself. Wait, you know about this grim war? Of course, I never actually expected you to be a mage. To be honest, I thought they all died out. But here, the black mage is actually an honor. What have you come here for? The person was saying. I learned to actually learn magecraft under you, spells, magic. I want to actually become the strongest person mage in this world, and you're the only person who can teach me. I beg you, train me please. I heard that you are actually known as pretty much the great sage of actually magic. So please teach me. Naruto would say, going on his knees while his head was actually hitting the ground. the actual person will actually see Naruto as he's not like other people who pretty much demanded them to actually teach them actually spells and come to their village and actually pretty much like what help them become strong. Naruto showed respect. He put his head down while actually knowing that he, even though he may be killed, he still actually showed respect, and he actually kind of liked that. What is your name? The man will say. Naruto. I used to go by the name Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, but I go by Naruto now. That name is actually long forgotten. I'm actually a host for the Nine-Tails Tail Beast, Kurami. Wait, the Tail Beast Kurami? She's here? As pretty much a red flame will actually appear around Naruto while Kurami will actually appear out. It's been an honor actually, Lord Hermit. It really is you, my lady. It's been far too long. The person now identified as Hermit will say, wait, Kurami, you know this actually person? This guy? Naruto will say, yes, of course. He was the one who actually gave me my actually human form, and I'm truly grateful of it. I mean, I knew this man for around 1,000 years, of course. And you haven't changed in a bit, Hermit. It's an honor to pretty much meet you, and thank you for this wonderful gift. I'm actually now able to travel among actually the human realm without being detected. I truly actually show you respect, Kurami would say. No, it's pretty much just a pleasure to meet you right there, Kurami. It's been far too long the way that you have helped our people. You and your brothers have actually really helped us in tough time. So tell me, you're pretty much the host of actually the Black Mage. Yes, I am. And he's quite powerful. And if you actually could, I would actually ask for you if you actually, in your heart, or if you really want to train him. If you cannot, I will actually understand and we will actually leave here, she would say. The boy does show potential. Of course, I will train him. Naruto, I can't call you Uzumaki, I see. But I'll call you Naruto for now. You'll be training under me for actually the next 10 years. And right there, this 10 years will be brutal. Would you be able to handle it? Yes, I am ready, Naruto would say. As their 10 years will actually eventually pass. As the training will actually be brutal. Really brutal on Naruto. Naruto will put through radical like exercise, like running right up the mountain with a boulder all on his back, trying to actually pour it there like a freaking like what tree with only actually just his mana alone, and pretty much he was supposed to actually breathe underwater without actually what to help, with only rocks pulling him down. He was supposed to actually he was supposed to breathe underwater without any like help of anyone, of course. He has to do it by himself. And it was actually just brutal training, of course. Naruto actually did send letters to Shion, of course, and she did receive them. And Naruto did actually, it wasn't only just training. He traveled the world, of course, with actually Hermit. And he actually did take on some jobs from some people, and he did make a name for himself. They called him the Dark Lord. As pretty much, he was actually ranked in the bingo book. Right, that Naruto would actually be so feared that pretty much every person in the whole nation would know of him. They don't know about Naruto, like his real name, Naruto, but they know about his actually code name, the Dark Lord. They actually heard from him that he's able to destroy a whole village with just ease. That he took down about like 2 rogue ninjas who was actually double S rank and things like that. He was also a bounty hunter, a mercenary, or a mercenaries. I can't actually pronounce the name. Jesus Christ, I don't know what's wrong with me today. As he was also known to actually have some kind of weird special powers, of course. He was able to actually drain the people of their chakra, of course. And this was the thing Naruto was actually going to do. He was going to remove the chakra from this world. The people who do not deserve chakra right there. This is what the world has come to. This is the world that actually came to where the people who use chakra to wage war and to actually use the chakra to steal tail beasts away and for their own personal gain. I mean, we have ninjas who are basically using chakra for despicable acts. Like for one, like trying to evade nations. For two, trying to start off an illegal business. Like number three, trying to actually start like an inappropriate like sex trade or actually with women, of course. And it was actually disgusting. This world was really corrupt by evil people, and there was so much hatred around. So every time that Naruto came across actually like rogue people or people who are truly evil, he would just take away the chakra or turn it into mana. And yes, Naruto would take away the chakra but not killing them. I mean, Naruto, if he really wanted to, he can easily kill them, but he doesn't. Well, to a few people that he meets. If they're not truly evil, he just takes away the chakra. And if you're truly evil, he will take away actually like your chakra and like completely kills you. Like, yeah, he will kill you. So he actually made a name for himself, and he was quite feared, as pretty much Naruto actually did get engaged to actually Shion, as Naruto did eventually came back to her, and they spent a lot more time together, as pretty much like heck, Hermit actually especially moved in to Shion's actually like palace, as they actually started to actually, how should I say, kind of like rebuild. Kind of like expand their land, of course. They expanded their land and also teaches the people there in Shion actually like what kingdom or village or town, whatever, cities, whatever you want to call it there, about actually mage and craft, of course. And Shion's gods, they were actually quite powerful. They were given rid of like mage actually spears, of course, which was actually powerful enough to take on A-class actually ninjas. And they were super powerful, and they were actually trained by actually Hermit. As pretty much, as they actually expanded this territory, it was actually quite known. Some people tried to actually take control over them, like some ninjas, of course, from like the mist, from the clouds, and from the rocks, of course. They tried to actually take that actually place for themselves. But every time, Naruto would be there to stop them, and also giving them a warning if they actually try to actually attack this place or even claim this place as their own. They will actually be eliminated from this world. So right now, they were actually now fearing the Black Lord, the Dark Lord, of course. Right now, we'll actually see this Naruto as he's just been actually just like walking the path, like inside a garden where pretty much he's actually with his fiancée Shion. Oh, and by the way, I forgot, I got this actually a little bit mixed up, guys. Naruto is actually kind of like 14 in this, so yeah, I kind of actually mixed it up, like, you know, like 10 years of training, things like that. I kind of had them mixed up. My apology, guys. So yeah, Naruto is actually kind of 14, so yeah, I'm trying to keep it inside the camera, so I'm not trying to speed it up a little. So yeah, right now Naruto was actually just inside the garden, and he was just walking with his lovely actually fiance Shion. As Naruto and Shion are walking, they will join themselves, while actually the people there, well, the workers will actually be actually greeting Naruto and Shion, as they will be calling them Lady Shion and Lord Naruto. As pretty much Shion will be resting her head on Naruto's shoulders, while all of a sudden a god would actually teleport in front of Naruto and Shion. Lord Naruto, we have an urgent request from for you. What is it? Naruto would say. Please, sir, we have trouble. Old family members from the land of Wave are having trouble. Their land has actually been taken and overrun by that guy named Gato. And pretty much, of course, like their lands and the people there are actually hungry and starving. And now I do expect in the next few days they might actually be eliminated, of course. So I really ask for you to please actually help the actually land, the gods would say. Naruto will look at the guy, as he will actually agree with this. Naruto actually treated everybody here with family, like family. Of course, he was going to actually help them out. Naruto was not like a bad person, of course. He always wanted to help their people out of this actually town, because if you help them, they will actually show respect back to you. And that was Naruto was actually taught by Hermit. So Naruto will actually agree. I will actually help you. You don't need to actually pretty much actually ask for payment or anything. I'll do this free of charge. We are family, of course. The guy will actually bless and actually Naruto while Naruto will be preparing to leave to go to the land of waves. As Naruto was actually gearing up in his actually mage actually outfit, the one that you guys see in the thumbnail now, he will actually be greeted by actually Shion's mother. I see that you're actually heading out, child. Yes, of course, mother. People in the land of wave really actually need my help. And of course, I really do like to help people who actually are in trouble. It's actually so sweet seeing that the boy right there that actually Shion liked is actually now actually engaged to him. Actually can't wait for you actually to be actually my son-in-law. We're gonna have so much time together. And please, be careful while you're actually heading out, Shion's mother would say. I will, thank you. And with this, Naruto actually bursting in his red aura like mana skin while he was bursting them out of speed. While he was running with top, not really top speed, but just minimum speed. As Naruto was actually running, as he was jumping to tree, he actually felt 3 mana auras that was actually following him. Out of nowhere, this actually tree like mage will actually be appearing behind Naruto. Lord Naruto, please wait up! Naruto will actually stop in his tracks while actually looking behind him. There were actually 3 actually like mage. I'm not gonna actually give them names because like geez, it's just way too much like work. As Naruto would say like, why have you come here? Is there something that you need? Lord Naruto, please, we would like for you to let us join you on this actually quest. We want to test out our skills, of course. We've been training, and this may be the opportunity for us to actually prove our skills. And plus, we really want to actually help the people in the land of wave. That's actually the guy will actually say. Naruto would think this true and he will actually agree. Even though actually the 3 figures are older than them, like they actually are about like 16 years old, while Naruto is about like 14 years old. That's like huge difference, guys. Like Naruto, he respects them. And this is actually quite of a thing that Naruto actually have. It's not about age. Age does not really matter. It's about respect. And they respect Naruto. They don't care if he's actually a child. He's actually quite powerful. And Naruto respects them. There's some things that he actually don't really know that he can actually ask them. Well, pretty much, yeah, it's an equal 50-50 actually like work partnership. So yeah. Eventually they'll actually land in the land of wave while Naruto asks them to put on their actually disguise so that no one actually know them. At least not yet. They'll make themselves known into the world sooner or later, but now it's not the time. Naruto will put on his mask and pretty much the sky will actually go dark and while purple lightning will be striking behind actually the 4 of them while standing on actually a tree. There they will actually make it all the way towards actually the land of actually wave, where they will actually see a battle actually commencing. There, pretty much they will actually see about like 3 actually like kids there would also already a Jonin, Kakashi Sensei, of course. Well, pretty much they will be actually fighting right there like kind of like not really 2, but like 1. Well, Naruto can sense those 2 people, but he will actually see 1 person actually face off against the Jonin. And it was pretty much actually Zabuza from the Hidden Mist. There, pretty much, the fight will actually continue to when Kakashi will actually get himself trapped in a water prison. This is when Naruto group actually make that the entrance. While pretty much Zabuza clone is actually taking care of actually like the kids, while actually trying to get to Kakashi, Naruto took this opportunity and he summoned right there like a purple fireball while launching it towards actually the real Zabuza. Zabuza leaped out of the way while actually releasing the water prison while Kakashi mindly escaped the blast, of course. They are all separated, of course, while they will actually look towards where the fire actually came from. This purple fire. They will ask who was there, as there they will actually see 4 figures wearing black clothing, but in the middle was actually Naruto with his black and red cloak, of course. There, everybody would notice the cloak, as most of them would be actually kind of afraid. Kakashi will be the most terrified one, and also Zabuza. Who are you? This actually Mema would say, I I'm the Dark Lord. That was in a deep, dark voice. Naruto would say as this would send shivers down everybody's spine. Everybody knows who the Dark Lord really is, as he was known to be actually a quite fearsome man. Well, what are you doing here? Kakashi would say. Also, Zabuza also saying the same thing. I'm here for actually one reason, of course, to help the people in the land of Wave. Tarzan and I were looking shocked. Wait, what? You're here to help my people? Yes, I actually got into contact with some of your family members who went out for a search. They got into contact with me, asking me to actually help them actually save their village. So right now, it seems like we're actually allying people from the Hidden Leaf village. Naruto will actually jump down with actually his 3 teammates, while they will actually start floating on the ground, not making a sound. They will actually press people there, but Zabuza, seeing this, he was saying that he was not willing to deal with the Dark Mage, at least not right now. So he will actually make his actually escape while actually creating a mist, while leaving the bridge builder actually alive. While in a deep dark voice he would say, I will come back. With this, the team was actually the Leaf Village was actually they let their actually guard down quite a little, but not really. The Dark Mage was actually still here. As Naruto actually raised his actually hand while telling them to stop, that he's not come here to fight. He came here to save the people of this village, of course, because the people there actually asked him to. Kakashi didn't actually trust him one bit, while actually Mito there couldn't actually help but actually feel a weird connection towards him, like she's seen him somewhere, but where? As they actually went toward the Hidden Wave village, there were the Hidden Leaf team, and I forgot about the team. The team there is actually Menma, Mito, and actually pretty much actually Sasuke. And you know what? Why not? I'll put Sakura there too, of course. And also there that Team Sensei was actually Kakashi. As pretty much they made it to Tarzan's house. Well, pretty much they actually set up protection around actually the house. They didn't trust the Dark Mage for one bit. The Dark Lord, for one bit. They actually thought that he was gonna kill them in their sleep or something like that. But no, Naruto was actually not that type of person. Even though he actually did destroy the village once, even though he didn't really care, he's not the type of person to go look for actually trouble like that. I mean, if they actually want to start beef with him, then he will actually destroy them. Yes. So, as Naruto's teammate looked around the village, he would see that the people there are so miserable, that's covered in dirt, dirty, and the place and the house was just completely destroyed. As pretty much Naruto actually decided that to scatter around and ask questions about this place and what really happened. Maybe they can actually have some explanation about this Gato fella that they can actually use. So they will actually go ahead and scatter about, asking people there in the village what really happened and who's this Gato fella. The mention of Gato really put fear into everyone's self, as they thought that these people were actually part of Gato. But no, they actually said they're actually not, that they were here with the Dark Lord. And the people on the wave know who the Dark Lord really is, as they were actually quite terrified. But they actually explained that he's here to help their village, because some of their family members got into contact asking for actually help for the Dark Lord. And this actually put a smile in some of the villagers here. But some of them didn't really feel comfortable, because they actually know what the Dark Lord really is. He was a guy who actually destroys his enemy completely, and nobody knew if he's actually good or evil. He just destroys everywhere where he actually goes, anywhere where he goes, so yeah. But Naruto decided to actually prove this by actually helping the villagers out. He would actually ask his teammates to actually go and scavenge for food, while he actually helped to actually rebuild this place. Naruto, with the help of his magecraft, would actually start to actually build actually a well. He would build a massive well actually, with proper actually water, of course. Even though they can use the water from the river and things like that, he decided to put a well, a freshly special well, where they can actually get water from where they don't need to go from the bridge, underneath the bridge to go get river, water, things like that. So he put it in the middle of the village, while actually he will actually fix some of the land. with actually some actually dark mage spells, of course, he will actually kind of regrow the land, of course. Like, the ground will actually be properly actually, like, mended. Some of the houses will be actually probably put in order, of course. And he actually did actually provide them actually some actually fire and actually, like, heating, of course. Like, torches all around the place to lit up the area. And the place was actually so dark. And heck, he even made actually like a hot spring for them. And he actually told them whoever wants to bath, they can actually come to this place. As at first it started as small people, but as more and more people came, it became larger and larger, and the people of the village started to trust them. But the Leaf didn't trust this person for one bit. Mema actually thought about that he can actually take this actually Dark Lord down, especially Sasuke. And Sakura was actually cheering actually them on, saying like, yeah, you can do this actually, Sasuke. You're better than this Dark Lord, like a freaking actually useless trash bag she is. Well, Kakashi told them to stay his distance away from actually the four of them, that they don't know what they're really up to. They said they're actually here to help the wave, but he doesn't actually think that. Well, you all lost cause, Kakashi, so yeah. As the people there started to actually enjoy the Dark Lord, as they actually started to actually praise for him like he's a hero, thing like that, but Naruto said that he's not a hero, that is the right thing for him to do. That he will actually get rid of Gato in the next week. Gato will be actually gone. As pretty much the Leaf people actually helped with actually building actually the bridge, and with actually no distraction, of course, and with the help of actually the Dark Mage. Well, kind of like not really. They didn't really help the Leaf Village. If the Leaf Village actually like what, helping actually the bridge builder build the bridge, they will be actually off collecting food and helping the village out. And while actually the bridge builder taking a break, or the Leaf people actually training, they will help actually building the bridge, and they did it faster and even better than even the bridge builder Tazna, even right there the Leaf Village can even do. And eventually a week will actually pass until right there like what, Gato will actually eventually arrive here with actually his goons. And yes, not with actually like what, Zabuza or even Haku, because Zabuza knows how powerful the Dark Lord really is, and he doesn't want any beef. He explains to actually like what, Gato, that like, yo, if you pay me right now about like what, 50 times the amount that you're paying me now, I will deal with the Dark Lord. But right now, I ain't paying for that. I ain't dealing with that. Gato said he will actually refuse to actually pay like Zabuza more, so Zabuza and Haku left. Well, actually, like heck, like pretty much Gato actually told him that you can't leave, that he has a contract, of course. But Zabuza doesn't care. He robbed actually Gato with actually his cash and money. He didn't really care for one bit. He took his money, his payment that he was supposed to do, and he actually just left with actually Haku. So Zabuza and Haku actually do survive in this, of course. With this, the rest of actually Haku, Gato's crew will actually come with actually his bandits. So they actually managed to actually build the bridge, of course. Really impressive. But that won't be too much of a problem. Boys, take them away! And take the women too! They'll be perfect breeding stock for us. And also take actually all the valuables. It seems like they actually started to rebuild this actually pathetic actually wasteland trash. All actually the Gato's men charged towards actually the village, trying to actually take the women and also their goods, of course. Which Naruto and his goons, they didn't actually allow. Naruto would be actually kind of like watching this from actually a nearby tree, while the Leaf people actually try to defend the people there. You actually see how powerful actually pretty much actually his fist got, and he could actually help but actually smile a bit underneath his mask, while Menmai, he was arrogant and ever with actually Sasuke, and also Sakura, she was just there actually being useless, of course. Menmai was actually forming actually a clone, his clone was actually forming a Rasengan on his right hand, while he would actually shout out, Rasengan! Shooting towards actually one of the bandits while actually blowing him off the bridge. There, Menmai would create about like 6 shadow clones that he would start charging towards actually the goons while beating them all up. Mito will actually use her Uzumaki chains, wrapping some of the actually bandits while throwing them off too, while whacking some of them away. She'll also use her super strength to actually break actually the bridge, of course, while actually some of them will actually fall. Even though actually the bridge was actually kind of broken, not all of it, but parts of it, they actually did do a good job. But more and more kept on coming, and like Kakashi, he couldn't actually keep up more. Eventually, they kept on coming more and more and more. Eventually, Naruto group had to get involved. Naruto told them to actually stay back while he handled this. While Memma says that he doesn't need help from actually the Dark Lord. Naruto would actually warn actually raise of his actually wrist. He will fling actually the group backwards while Mito will be skirting off. Not with that much force, but she'd be actually blown back while still on her feet. As Naruto was actually now has the stage with actually his crew, the trio actually of Naruto's actually teammates will actually charge at Gato, and with quick haste, they will cut them all down with fast speed. Like, they were so fast, not even right there, like, Kakashi can barely even keep up with them, even with his Sharingan. As they were actually mad, they were actually slaughtering actually all of Gato's men, while the people of the wave were actually watching this with complete awe. The Dark Mage and actually his teammates were actually strong, while they were actually shooting actually farther out of the hand, not using jutsu. Some of them were flying, some of them were actually using lightning and actually destroying actually the bridge. While one person was actually using the water, of course, making a water dragon, while dragging them actually all off the bridge, like rinsing them all off the bridge, of course. As Kakashi was actually surprised at how much power they actually have, and they were just using all elemental styles with ease. Eventually, like, all was actually left with just a few of Gato's men. While actually Gato's men, they started to run, while some started to actually stay and fight, because they actually wanted a big bonus. Then Naruto was actually walking towards Gato while some of the men charged towards Naruto. But one quick motion, Naruto will actually just spin around, cutting actually the person's head clean right off. While actually he did this to some of them, while it was actually only Gato actually left. Gato tried to run, but Naruto will appear right in front of him, moving into his cloak. There, Naruto will let out his actually mana aura while he was actually seeing a dark beast radiating off of him. He would see a giant beast behind Naruto with red eyes, and pretty much it was like his soul being ripped apart. Naruto would immediately just go and form a magic circle underneath Gato. Gato couldn't move, or Naruto placed his hand on his chest, and then Naruto ripped out actually Gato's soul, while actually Naruto absorbed it with Kurami actually ate actually Gato's soul. While she was saying that it was actually quite tasty for her, that she wants some more. This actually will leave Gato lifeless, while actually Naruto will cremate him by using actually his purple flame. With one snap of his fingers, Gato's body would burn to a crisp. As there, everybody was just cheering for the Dark Mage, that Gato has now been defeated and things like that. Now they can actually live freely now, without the influence of actually Gato and his goons. As pretty much they were actually celebrating this whole day, that the day that Gato finally fell. As Naruto actually did take all of Gato's belongings, everything, his business, and gave it to the people in the land of Wave. As they actually went to rebuilding the bridge again, and actually it was actually quite better. And this time they actually named it the Great Dark Lord Bridge, out of respect, and how they actually helped the village out. And they were actually quite pleased with this. While Memma and Sasuke was actually quite angry, like this guy was actually truly just not even that great. He just picked up actually the leftovers. They were doing the work, they could have done it. While the people was actually cheering on for them, Memma decided to take this opportunity to go rush towards actually the Dark Mage. Kakashi tried to stop him, but it was already too late. Memma was actually coming and saying "You think you're tough? Well, I'm better than you." Memma would actually try to throw already a right hook, but Naruto would just catch it with just his bare hands. Naruto would flick actually Memma away with his air palm strike, and he would strike him on the chest while actually sending him flying towards actually the building, breaking it. Then Naruto would say "Don't touch me, you filth, weakling." With this, Naruto would tell to his crew that they actually set it out. And with this actually is the end of part 2 of What If Naruto Was the Dark Mage. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys are watching part 3, let's get the video up to about 20 likes, and I'll catch you guys soon.